Spider-Man, the wall crawler, the underdog, the hero everyone underestimates. But here's the truth. When things get serious, Spider-Man doesn't just keep up, he takes over. He's faced the Avengers, held his own, and even put them in their place more times than you'd think. He may not be the strongest, but when it really matters, he proves he's just as good, maybe even better, than Earth's mightiest heroes. Today, we're looking at every time Spider-Man showed the Avengers who's really in charge. And trust me, you won't see some of these coming. Spider-Man takes down the entire X-Men. Secret Wars number 3, 1984. Spider-Man has had plenty of insane moments. But this one, this is on another level. During Secret Wars, the Avengers, X-Men, and other heroes are thrown onto Battleworld by the Beyonder. Tensions are high, and the X-Men, led by Professor X, decide they don't trust the Avengers. They make a plan to break off and do their own thing. But Spider-Man overhears them, and he doesn't like what he hears. Before he can warn the others, the X-Men try to stop him. Bad move. On top of that, Spider-Man moves faster than they can react. Cyclops fires his optic blast, but Spidey dodges with ease. Storm tries to slow him down, but he's already out of reach. Colossus barely has time to react before he's webbed up. Rogue can't even touch him. Nightcrawler teleports all around him, but Spider-Man is just too quick. Even Wolverine, the guy known for his unbreakable skeleton and killer instincts, gets tossed aside like he's nothing. In just a few panels, Spider-Man takes out some of the strongest fighters in the Marvel Universe. And here's the kicker, he doesn't take a single hit. It gets to the point where Professor X has to step in and erase Spider-Man's memory just to stop him. That's right, one guy alone had the X-Men so completely outmatched that the world's most powerful telepath had to shut him down. This moment proves that Spider-Man isn't just some street-level hero. He can take on entire teams by himself. His speed, reflexes, and spider sense make him nearly impossible to hit. And even some of the toughest heroes look slow compared to him. He didn't just hold his own against the X-Men, he dominated. Spider-Man versus the Avengers. The Amazing Spider-Man. Annual number 3, 1966. Spider-Man has always done things his way, and this moment proves it. Back in the early days, the Avengers weren't sure if Spider-Man was good enough to join their team, so instead of a simple tryout, they decided to test him. And not just any test, they told him to capture the Hulk, the strongest being on Earth. Most heroes wouldn't even try. But Spider-Man? He tracked Hulk down and went straight at him. After that, Peter found the Hulk near a Gamma research facility and immediately got to work. He dodged every attack, flipping and weaving around the massive brute like it was nothing. He even landed some hits of his own, knocking Hulk off balance. For a moment, it actually looked like Spider-Man could take him down. But then, something changed. In the middle of the fight, Hulk briefly transformed back into Bruce Banner. That's when Spider-Man realized something. The Avengers weren't asking him to stop a villain. They were asking him to bring in a sick man, and that didn't sit right with him. Instead of delivering Banner to the Avengers, Spider-Man let him go. He knew Hulk wasn't the real enemy, and he refused to be the one to drag him into danger. So, when he returned to the Avengers, he straight up lied. He told them he couldn't find the Hulk and walked away. The Avengers were shocked. Not only had he survived the mission, but he had made the choice not to bring Hulk in. He had passed their test, but instead of celebrating, he turned his back on them. This wasn't just a show of strength, it was a statement. Spider-Man wasn't some rookie looking for approval. He wasn't going to take orders just because the Avengers said so. He fought Hulk, proved he was strong enough, and then chose his own path. He didn't just impress the Avengers, he showed them he wasn't someone they could control. Spider-Man outsmarts Iron Man, Civil War number 2, 2006. Iron Man thought he could control Spider-Man. Big mistake. At first, Peter Parker sided with Tony Stark in the Superhero Registration Act. He even revealed his identity to the whole world. But as time went on, he saw Tony's real plan, tracking and controlling heroes like they were pieces on a chessboard. That didn't sit right with Spidey. And when he decided to leave, Tony didn't like that one bit. However, Iron Man had eyes everywhere. He could track almost anyone. But Spider-Man? He was smarter than Tony gave him credit for. Peter shut down every signal, jammed every tracker, and wiped himself off the grid. One of the smartest men on Earth couldn't find him. That alone was a power move. Then came the real fight. When Iron Man finally caught up, he expected an easy win. After all, he had the most advanced tech in the world. But Spider-Man wasn't about to roll over. He dodged repulsor blasts, flipped over Tony's head, and used every bit of his agility to stay ahead. For a moment, it looked like he could actually win. Tony's armor gave him the upper hand in the end, but Peter had made one thing clear: he couldn't be controlled. While Captain America was gathering his underground resistance, something strange was happening. Supervillains were getting taken down fast. Vulture, Grim Reaper, and the Trapster, all chained up, beaten down, and it wasn't Cap doing it alone. This was Spider-Man at work. He was sending a message, not just to the bad guys, but to Iron Man too. Cap knew something was up. This kind of efficiency, it had to be a team effort. But no, it was just one man, one hero, doing the job better than they ever could. When the young Avengers got captured, things looked bad. Cap had them locked down, sending them straight to prison. But Captain America had a plan. And Spider-Man? He played his role perfectly. Despite this, Cap broke into the transport van, knocking out guards left and right. Falcon freed the young Avengers while Wiccan teleported the entire van to safety. And who was behind the scenes, making sure this plan worked? Spider-Man. Because when things got serious, he always came through. Then came the moment that shocked the world. Tony Stark brought Spider-Man to a press conference. Peter had backed him before, but now he had to make things right. He stepped up to the mic, took off his mask, and said it loud and clear. "My name is Peter Parker, and I've been Spider-Man since I was 15. The world gasped. J. Jonah Jameson passed out. And Iron Man? He had just lost his biggest asset. Spider-Man versus the Avenger. Again, The Amazing Spider-Man, number 683, 2012. Spider-Man has taken on the Avengers more times than people realize. One of the most unforgettable moments was in The Amazing Spider-Man number 683. The world was in danger, and Dr. Octopus had set a trap. The Avengers thought they were handling it, but Spider-Man knew better. He tried to warn them, but they ignored him. So he did what he had to do. He fought them. At the United Nations, world leaders were discussing Doc Ock's so-called plan to save the planet. Spider-Man knew it was a lie. When Al Gore argued in favor of Ock, Spidey didn't hesitate. He punched him in the face, revealing that it wasn't Gore at all. It was the chameleon in disguise. Nobody else noticed, but Spidey did. Well, this moment proves Spider-Man's instincts are sharper than the Avengers. He sees what they don't, shows that he doesn't need backup to handle threats. When the world is in danger, he doesn't wait for permission. He acts. Meanwhile, Doc Ock activated a machine blocking all harmful UV rays, making himself look like a hero. The Avengers tracked the chameleon to the Mediterranean coast, where the Sinister Six were waiting. The Avengers thought they could take them down easily, but Ock had been planning this for a long time. Using stolen tech, the Sinister Six overwhelmed them. One by one, the Avengers fell. Captain America, Thor, Black Widow, and even Red Hulk couldn't stand against them. But Spider-Man? He was still standing, the only hero left. The Avengers got wrecked, but Spider-Man held his ground. Shows he's not just a street-level hero, he can hang with the best. Proves he doesn't need a team to win battle. Shockingly, Spidey didn't just survive, he fought back. He dodged Red Hulk's punch, flipped over Thor's hammer, and webbed up Black Widow before she could react. He countered every attack they threw at him. He wasn't just fighting them, he was proving a point. The Avengers finally realized he was right. If they had listened, they wouldn't have fallen into Ock's trap. They saw what everyone else had been ignoring. Spider-Man wasn't just some kid in a mask. He was a hero who could stand against the strongest fighters in the world. Moreover, he outmaneuvers the most powerful heroes on Earth. Proves that when he speaks, the Avengers should listen. Leaves the world wondering, how strong is Spider-Man really? The final shot? Spidey is on his knees, surrounded by fallen Avengers, staring down Dr. Octopus and the Sinister Six. He wasn't giving up. He wasn't beaten. He was just getting started. In the end, Spider-Man never stops fighting, no matter how bad it looks. Shows that even when the Avengers fall, he keeps going. Confirms that Spider-Man is one of the most unstoppable heroes in the Marvel Universe. Spider-Man saves the multiverse. Spider-Verse 2014. The Avengers have strength, resources, and strategy. But when the multiverse was in danger, none of that mattered. The Inheritors, powerful beings that fed on spider people, started hunting every version of Spider-Man across different realities. The X-Men couldn't stop them. The Fantastic Four had no answers. The Avengers were useless. That's when Spider-Man took control. Peter Parker didn't just fight. He built an army. He brought together every spider from across dimensions. Spider-Gwen, Spider-Punk, Spider-Monkey, even Otto Octavius as the superior Spider-Man. The Inheritors were unstoppable, but Peter found their weakness. He didn't have Thor's hammer or Iron Man's tech, but he had something better: his mind. He outsmarted the Inheritors at every turn, setting traps and using their arrogance against them. The Spider Army followed his lead, proving that when everything falls apart, Spider-Man is the one hero who never stops thinking, never stops fighting. However, the battle wasn't just about power, it was about strategy. Otto Octavius, who once thought he was smarter than Peter, had to admit that Peter was the only one capable of leading them. The Inheritors had already wiped out dozens of spider totems, but Peter found a way to stop them for good. Even when all hope seemed lost, he pushed forward. Ultimately, this wasn't just another fight. It was proof that, out of every hero in the multiverse, Spider-Man is the one who always finds a way to win. He didn't need the Avengers. He didn't need anyone to save him. He was the leader, the strategist, the last hope. And in the end, he saved them all, showing once again why he's not just a friendly neighborhood hero. He's the one who steps up when no one else can. Spider-Man has proved over and over that he's more than just your friendly neighborhood hero. He's taken on cosmic threats, outsmarted the smartest minds, and even put the Avengers in check when they needed it, all while cracking jokes. Got a favorite Spidey boss moment? Did we miss one? Drop it in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss more epic moments from your favorite heroes.